Hello and welcome. I hope I am not intruding into your privacy with this promotional advertisement. And it is probably more convenient for me to explain to you what this is all about, so you decide to continue watching it, or skipping the ad, and move on. This is about a translation training course that I am holding in the next couple of days. Do you try to memorize words in English and their matches in Arabic, but still feel you are unable to put them into translation use? Do you read translated works and feel translators are leap years ahead of you? Have you ever done your best on a translation test at a translation agency, and you were told your translation was not acceptable? Have you felt sad for not making any progress in translation, while seeing, at the same time, others making a good living out of it? Have you ever mustered your courage, sat on a translation exercise, but stumbled by simple words? Have you aspired to get your work up in the world, but all your hopes were fated to founder on the rock of non-professionalism in translation? Oh, forgive me for forgetting to introduce myself. My name is Mohammed. I am a trainer, a translator and an interpreter, and I have worked in the field for over 20 years. 2 decades ago, the information technology was in its cradle, and learners could not realize their potential to the fullest degree. This gives me the privilege of knowing, understanding and feeling what it looks like for a newbie to start learning translation. Translation begins as a habit, but for me, it is more a source of living. If you are studying translation, or have just graduated from the university with a translation degree, you probably are asking yourself how to get a job as a translator. Translation job seekers are often faced by a myriad of challenges. Whenever they apply, they are asked to take a translation test. But, without adequate training, the majority of applicants lose the opportunity, and some start to look for any other person to blame. At this point, you find it important, more than at any time before, to have someone look at your work, point out to those areas that you need to improve, and uphold you towards professionalization. A common way that students correctly pursue is to look for some practical training. This, however, does not come without a cost. Training courses are a little bit expensive, and even if such courses are available, trainers do not often have the time to offer specific and individual guidance to students. So, what makes my training courses different? The simple answer is that I think the dozens of training courses and consultations that I have given over the years have taught me a pretty good idea about what students need. Don't get surprised to learn that students share lots of common issues in translation. What you need is to find someone to tell you about those areas and help you make a headway. You may not know that I have worked with all sorts of clients in a variety of areas, and got such an exposure to world translation, enough to tell me the expectations of clients, and how they judge a translation. Knowing these tricks is not enough. I understand that you do not like the theory, and are looking for practical translation. How about combining the theory with practice? I envisage a classroom that teaches students the basic rules of translating a paragraph, then ask them to put their hands on it. The time of each lesson is short, so you can also translate a predetermined short text at your leisure time, then send it to me to get constructive comments. The feedback is going to be detailed, and will address all points of improvement for you, personally. There will be 5 lessons in this course, and will be delivered through Zoom webinars online. In each lesson, we will discuss a paragraph, and dive deeper into sentence formation, cohesion, coherence, tone, goal among other things. I assume that even if what I said was beating to your drums, you are still worried about price. A traditional class-based training costs in Jordan between 150 and 300 Jordanian dinars. You still have to pay for transport, and have to adjust your schedule to the time of the course. Still, you may not be guaranteed an individualized training where you do some practice, and get a fair share in the discussions. In return of my training course, you need to pay only 35 Jordanian dinars. That is if you registered 3 days before the training begins on August 25, 2020. The fees for late registration are 70 Jordanian dinars. If you are interested in the course, and want to put your feet on the road to translation, as a career, consider registering in this course. But, please remember, that in order for me to deliver on my promises, I can take a maximum of 5 trainees in each training session. Thank you for listening.